Good morning, Professor Lind. It's a great honor to have you join our channel today. Yeah, and I know you are one of the nation's leading experts in international politics, especially in East Asia. And now my first question is that I know you visited Taiwan last summer with Brookings Institution delegation, and you had an opportunity to meet with President Chai, among other senior officials. Could you share your overall impression of Taiwan during that trip, and what was the most surprising or memorable things you have during that experience?
Well, first, I would like to say I'm honored to be speaking with you today. This is a real pleasure. And I was also just so grateful to have had that opportunity to visit Taiwan, and not just the opportunity of a trip, but as you said, with the Brookings Institution, they introduced us to a very high-level leaders, and we met so many people in industry, and so it was really an incredible opportunity. I felt so lucky. It's hard to pick a specific thing about a very memorable trip. What I can say is the trip was focused on the topic of semiconductors. It was called a semiconductor study tour. And that's something that I've been researching a lot because of the US export controls in recent years. And on the trip, we were able to visit the Hsinchu Industrial Park. And that was really quite a moment for me. There was something about it in that being there was very different, and just got me thinking about Taiwan and its economy and its role in the global economy in ways that I hadn't done before. So, of course, I'd studied the issue. I'd been reading a lot about TSMC and Taiwan's role in the semiconductor supply chain. As a graduate student, I'd studied comparative political economy, and I learned about how Taiwan's government was very active in basically creating Hsinchu and other industrial parks out of nothing, right? They said, let's create this industry, let's create this sector for our economy. But there's something about being there and standing there surrounded by these factories, and knowing that this place that I was in is one of the most, or maybe the most important place on the planet when it came to this really vital industry. So even though I had studied this issue in the abstract, I was really struck by that. And as a scholar interested in economic development and technology, we hear a lot about how governments are so bad at industrial policy, right? We're hearing a lot of debate about this and China's future and so on. And so there tends to be a pretty dim view of industrial policy. But again, to be standing there in what's arguably one of the most successfully industrial policies of the world was really striking, and of course gives us a lot to think about for what we think about economic development and innovation.